Okay, but there's still harm and suffering associated with the production of milk and cheese. I mean, they're taking the baby calf away from them. There's lots of suffering. The cows are raised into a it's not even human to think like. It's the transport. Like, there's a lots of harm. Maybe back then when you were raising your animals on the farm and, you know, not abusing them in an industrial way. Yeah, for sure. Cheese and stuff, people must have been using that milk. Like, I guess it's just, but now it's just we have lost our way in the industrialization a lot. And I think it's just out of control now.
Yep, it's true. Definitely, more than 3 or 4 animals of your own is, and if they're not happy, that is, you know, mass production. And animals are not for that purpose. They're not our slave. They are our helpers, and we should be treating them more kind than the work that we get out of them. So we should be investing in the animals. We should never, ever deprive an animal of its needs, and never cause it to work more than it can, and never be ever cruel to any animal, ever, not even an ant, you know, to step on it just because you can. This is bad karma, and eventually that will come back.
You know, we have disease because we badly feed our bodies and stuff, and we become at dis-ease. Imagine what they feed the animals. Don't you think they feed them constantly GMO stuff and stuff for them to develop all kinds of sickness? Sometimes you know, they have abscess, they have stuff inside, they have all kinds of disease, and you eat that stuff. Like, it's crazy.
You drink the milk and imagine what they put the cows through, and even they say even some of the blood is just left in the milk, and they pasteurize it, you know, like,
because to me it's way past veganism and vegan and vegetarian and all those words you can label it. It's like it's crazy what's going on. It's a satanic thing, a satanic ritual that we're performing for them. So it's to wake up and see that it's more past. It's your, first of all, veganism, vegetarian, call it whatever you want. You're not even made to eat meat, so you shouldn't even think about it. When you have this of meat raw in your plate, you're not tempted to eat it. I don't want to eat meat raw. I have to cook it, spice it, put sauce on it, and this is where I think, anyway, me, it's clear to me that I'm not going back in that madness of eating dead flesh and dead animals. Fuck that, no way, no way.
I stopped eating meat 2 months ago with my girlfriend, but like, I'm still finding myself trying to do what I can. I mean, I'm not a vegan per se, but like, thinking of, even before I buy milk or something, like, but what do those cows go through? Like, I think about stuff like that just because, like, I'm trying to really better what I put in my body. So now I mean, I love cheese, though. That's the one thing. So it's like, I'm trying to see what I could, because I cut meat out, but now I'm like, all right, so what was put into this?
It's a slow transition.
You know?
It's a slow transition. And, you know, just on this topic, the animals will come back and hurt the people. And they are doing that. You've got, you know, dogs that are attacking people. And I strongly believe and know that this is the karma. We've been doing this for such a long time that they're now growing in consciousness in their animal species, and they're coming back. And they're going to keep coming back until we are awakening and awaken in that concept.
Yeah, there you go, Melissa. This is a picture from Bhagavad Gita. Look at this.
Yeah.
You see what it says there? See how the animal is being murdered because of gluttony. It's very, very gluttonous to eat flesh of dead sentient beings, and then to just lick your lips and lick your fingers like it's gluttony. It's all here. It says
into the flavors of it too.
Yeah, look, it's just disgusting. You see people in their feasts and they're licking their fingers and all this stuff.
I know, the licking of the fingers, right?
And it's all for protein and health. And I just sit there and go, "What? No,
no."
Yeah.
It's for derangement and bad health. That's why they're all dying of cancer, and the doctors are busy and medicating them. and they have got all diseases. They've got arthritis. They've got piles hanging out of their backside. They've got freaking wrinkles all over. They look like prunes, man. I mean, I'll be 54 next month, and I've never seen a wrinkle on my face, and I probably will not welcome one because I eat the juicy food. The juicier the food you eat, and the more raw you eat, the juicier your body will be. Okay, so you see these people, they're heavily wrinkled, and you look at what they eat. McDonald's, fried chicken.
What about their ankles, Santos? Their ankles are swelling and, wow, it's all over their body.
Water retention and all that stuff.
Everything.
It's shocking. Our bodies should be trim as like when we were teenagers. It should be the same trimness. I've never ever had excessive weight. I've never been more than, say, 67 kilos. That's very light.
Yep. Okay? I've been the same size since I was a teenager. So, yeah, I know that.
It's not my case. I reached 300 pounds, but I lost 100 pounds by stopping eating meat and drinking milk.
There you go.
That's very important that people know that. I lost 100 and something pounds just by cutting that scrap and eating more greens.
That's good.
I didn't move enormously. I do a little bit of bike yoga here and there. I have a genou en compote. I can do really much with my legs, so I do what I can. But I lost the weight because I stopped eating the scrap, the acid stuff. Sometimes we think we're fat. We're not fat. We're turning acid like a battery. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Great. Pure madness. Pure madness, if you ask me. It's crazy. Now, there's another thing, Santos, I want to bring on before in the last half hour and so, the pyramids. The pyramids. I want to talk about the pyramids. I think these are subjects that go a bit on the sides with the flat earth stuff on YouTube and that. We don't talk so much about the pyramids and where it come from and the use of it. And, you know, I have never heard you so much talk about the pyramids also, so it's a... Good night to talk about the pyramids, I think.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Just before that, I'll just read this out of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is the Bible of the East. And that picture, that scary picture, I would like any people who are still eating, you know, fish or whatever, any kind of animal, just remember this picture. Remember it very, very clearly, because all animals have to see the axe come down over their head. And all cows have to see their calves being stolen from them to be sold on the market as veal, you know, veal and pork and venison and all of these lovely names for cuisine. It's not pork, it's pig's bum. It's not, you know, venison. It's murder. You know, don't call it pork. It just doesn't work. It is pure murder. It's filth. It's derangement. It's demonic. And this is the consequences. It says, animal killers do not know that in the future the animal will have a body suitable to kill them. That is the law of nature. So that was very important. I thought I had to mention that before we move on to the pyramids. Pyramids are the only shape known to man that can actually change the shape of the torus field. You can get a square magnet, a ring magnet. You can get any shaped magnet and put it under, like, the ferrocell. A ferrocell is, or a magnetic viewing film. Ferrocell is very much like a supercharged magnetic viewing film, but you'll still see the magnetic lines, you know, and you'll see every magnet, it's all like this. Not perfect. It's always to a ratio of 5:1. So every magnet is really, the top part, let's say, is phi, and the bottom part will be 1. Okay? Phi is 1.618, the golden section. Okay, so basically they're like this. They're like eggs, fat at the bottom, or like a pine cone. So this shape, so if that's 1, this is phi over here. So phi here, the phi ratio. So this is 1.618 times bigger than the top half. Okay, so there's more bulk, more magnitude there at that ratio, and that's what's going on. All torus fields are like that. Okay, the fat part is where blue shift happens, and the red part is where red shift happens. Okay, and so blue is here, and red is here at the bottom. If we're going to consider this to be our universe, and so you've got the Earth's plane here, inside of the torus field, and here will be the North Pole here, magnetic mountain here, and this will be the South Pole, Antarctica, out here. And so we're all living here on the flat horizontal Earth. Above us there are 7 planets. Below us there are 7 planets. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, 15 planets in all. And the pyramid is the only one that can distort this shape. It's the only one that can significantly change the shape of the way the torus energy extrapolates itself out from the 0 point of transcendence. So the pyramids are very, very special. What they can do is create more redshift and blue shift than any other shape. Okay, so that's essentially what the pyramids are there for. They are a shape which manipulates the torus field like no other, and hence you can do more with it, you see. So with the Great Pyramid, so they had in the Great Pyramid, which has no top, they had like the main gallery going up to the King's Chamber, and then another one passage going to the Queen's Chamber, and then you have subterranean stuff going down here, and then this is the big gallery here, and you climb up, and you've got 4 shafts, and those 4 shafts, they all point to stars. This one points to Orion. This one points to Orion. This one points to Sirius, and this points to Thuban. And I think even perhaps Polaris, I'm not sure, but it's one of the 7 stars of the northern what they call that area. Anyway, it's in the Arctic northern regions.
We're gonna avoid saying hemisphere.
Yes, inner circle. And so what these chambers are doing here is they are drawing, you see, it's all about light and magnetism, okay? So not only is this shape distorting the torus field for their purposes, but they're also harvesting the energy here in the pyramid, and then directing it to the people like a Tesla free energy device. And so this was producing energy that everybody could use. Okay, no wires, direct energy. Okay, so that's what pyramids are for. Pyramids are actually built on lays, or what we call ley lines. Better to call them lays. And the Earth has all of its arterials and lays all planned out. And so when you build something like this, which actually harvests and creates its torus energy, but in its own peculiar shape, then you have more power to redirect that energy and channel it for the benefit of people. And in those times, 60,000 years ago when this was built, wasn't 5,000 years ago like they tell us.
What did you say there? 60,000 years ago?
60,000 plus. 100,000 years ago. 60 to 100,000 years ago built. Yeah. And you have to listen to true scientists to tell you that, like Abdel Hakim Awiyan from the Kemet Mystery School in Egypt. who is an ancient indigenous wisdom keeper of Egypt, and he tells us that you know, you don't want to be listening to the Jesuit buffoons like Zahi Hawass and all the idiots, Graham Hancock, and all these morons who will say, you know, that this is 5,000 to 12,000 years. No. Abdel Hakim Awiyan, the Kemet Mystery School, they are the indigenous wisdom keepers. They know, and they know that this is at least 60,000 years old.
Oh, that's huge. I never heard that number before. It's huge. I see. It was a good thing that I get you to talk about the pyramid.
Brother, this earth plane has hosted many, countless civilizations in the past and in the future. It has been the host of many cycles of necessity. Many souls have been drawn to this point here in the Garden of Eden, and then they've dispersed to create civilizations on this plane, which is the plane of Bumandula, Jambudweep. And so here, this Midgard, the middle garden, this is like the heart. Earth and heart are the same word, really, and that's it here. And so that's the green earth, the green chakra in the middle of your torso. That's the blue throat chakra. That's the red bottom chakra. And this is your torso. So Taurus. Torso, Taurus. Everything is about Tor. Okay, who is Tor? Well, that's the Tauri, the Yggdrasil Tauri of the Taurus in the middle of the earth. And so Tor, or Thor, he is the author of our creation. And together with Rhea, they are the creator. Tor, the actor. The author.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
No, I just read your word, creator.
Yes. This is the one who tells of the... This is how you tell your story. This is a storehouse. Tor, Taurus, storehouse of creation. Okay, so you are the orator. Orator. This is the orator's field because it's orating.
Yeah.
Okay, it is speaking. It is the tutor, the teacher. Tor. All right, it is the motor. Tor, you see, and Tor backwards is wrote. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Wrote, rota, motor, torso, Taurus, orator, creator, story, store, tutor, author, the author of your own creation. It's all in the Taurus field. So what you've got is
That's why they
creation is happening.
That's why they put the goods in the store.
That's right. And so you've got words like agitator, rotator. How about this one? Astor. Yeah, because this is how stars work. This is the astrology teacher, the Taurus, the Astorus.
There was a guy named Astor, a dancer or singer, no, something like that.
Yeah, that's the guy they killed on the Titanic so that they could get their Federal Reserve in 1913.
Yeah.
They had to sink this guy in the Titanic and two other guys. I forget their names right now. Because I've read all that history of the Jesuits and all of their wicked deeds and how they've controlled the whole psyop of our modern day word. Just keep talking for a bit, man. Just grab another drink.
Yeah, what's interesting too, it's the construction of the pyramid that I would like to extend on. You know, there's a lot of to lift those big blocks like that. Like I've never seen them. I've never
Man.
been there. I've never seen the
me neither.
pyramid. I assume that they exist, okay, because
Yeah.
I've never seen them.
Well, yeah.
But I've seen a lot of people talking and pictures. I assume they're
Yeah.
there. We cannot also, you know, like say because I didn't experience it. Like we have to trust a bit other people like us at one point. You know what I mean? I haven't experienced it, but I
Yeah.
think I can talk about it without having experiencing it.
The question is, how did they make it? How did
Yeah.
they use their
Because-
strength to get it like that? That structure. That
Yeah.
oh,
Just to lift one block,
Yeah.
you have no
Yeah.
crane today
Yeah.
capable of lifting that kind of block. So what kind of crane they had? Were they
Yeah.
levitating the blocks with stuff? Were
And
they
it's
like
also it was also created in a way to where it's if there's an earthquake, it doesn't even matter. It's able to withhold itself and it doesn't move at all.
It's still there after thousands and thousands of years. It hasn't moved. There's been earthquake. There's been the terrain has moved. Obviously, the earth is alive. It's
it
moving.
withstands everything.
You know,
it just
and no builder in modern day society can figure it out.
Yeah.
And I just think, well, they were full of brains way back then. So how did they do that? It's amazing.
how did they do it? Maybe Santos has a theory on that.
Yeah, it's easy. You don't need a theory. We know how they did it. Sonoluminescence with sound. In the Bible,
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, in the Bible they talk about Joshua destroying the walls of Jericho just with the sound of his horns, circling the city once for 7 days, and on the seventh day they did it 7 times. They blew their horns, and with the sound of those trumpets, right? Even though this is not literal history, there's nothing literal in it at all. It's teaching you about sound. It's teaching you that God created everything with sound. Genesis 1:1. Bereshit bara Elohim. Bareshit. Bare is bra. Abra. So all of this bra words, ra is already there. See, the creator, the creator, that's Rhea. Make no mistake about it. Rhea and Thor. Thor is Jupiter. Rhea and Thor. That's really Jupiter's mother.
Creator. Yeah, I never seen it.
I just
yeah. So Rhea, Rhea is the consort of Saturn.
Wow.
Okay, and Saturn is time. So let's work out who Rhea is, because Rhea always turns up in. She's the mother of cereals. Okay, cereals. Rhea, bread.
Oh, wow.
Learn something every day.
Rhea.
Yeah.
It's spelled like this. It's actually spelled with a H. Okay, that's Rhea, the wife of Satan, the ruler of time. Time is atum. All is atum. Remember, all is atum, like this, or all is atur. Arthur, Thor, Tor, the Taurus field, the bull and the Tor, the creator of our reality. But when you come back to this, you'll find out who this is. Joseph and Mary, and their child is Thor, Jesus. So how do you work that out? Well, let's have a look at the Greek. Let's have a look at the Greek Saturn, Rhea, and Zeus, and see if we can't compare it with the Hebrew Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, because it's all one thing. So they have to be syncretized. They have to be. There's no choice. People will say, "Oh, but that's Greek. That's Saturn is it's evil. It's a planet." Joseph was Joseph, and he was a real man. Yeah, like Santa Claus. Okay, so let's see how we work it out, and then we'll work out how it is that sonoluminescence created everything. Well, you've got Saturn. Saturn is Set. Set becomes Seth. And Joe, the father, Jehovah, the father, Seth, is none other than Saturn. Rhea becomes Mother Rhea, Maria. Joseph and Mary have a son called Jesus. Joseph and Mary, they have a son called Jesus. Saturn and Rhea have a son called, well, Thor. We said that before. Sorry, Thor, Jupiter in Roman. That's Scandinavian, German, Thursday, Thor's Day. Jupiter, Latin, Zeus. No, I don't like that. I'll make that better. So Saturn and Rhea have Zeus, or Jupiter Zeus. Jupiter Zeus becomes Zeus, Jesus. So Joseph, Sat. Joseph and Mary and Jesus are nothing other than Saturn and Rhea, old man time, who have their first child, their only begotten, Jupiter, because he was the only one. Jupiter was the only one who was saved. As Kronos was eating all his children, Rhea was afraid that Saturn would eat her new boy, so she flew him over to Crete, so he would grow up. Thor would grow up there. So he was their only begotten son, just like Joseph and Mary. You can't, well, not only begotten. Apparently in the Gospels, Mary had other children, but it was the only one that was special because it was God's son. It was unique. It was a virgin birth, etc.